Hey guys, this is Lauren, but you can call me Elle, and this is Things That Need to Be Said. It's a podcast. So I'm sitting in my room doing the podcast, trying to take advantage of this lighting that I purchased for my business because I did want to start getting into creating, some little merchandise that I had in mind. But I haven't gotten there yet because I'm sort of kind of busy and I haven't made up the things. I haven't bought some of the things I needed to buy, but I do have the lighting. So I said, let me bring my lighting upstairs so I can have some okay light when I do the video for the podcast. But I'm really tired today because I had like a crazy ass day yesterday. So I'm sitting in my my bedroom with a jean trench on and some sunglasses because my eyes cross. Okay, I know I have an eye situation, and when I look at some of my videos, I see that the eye gets a little crazy. So when I'm extra tired, they get crazy. So I didn't want people to say, "Lord, look at her eyes." I mean, I know I have the cross-eyed problem, so I said, let me just put some nice little glasses on so they can do whatever they do behind the glasses, and I won't have to subject anybody to these eyes all over the place. So yeah, I have a jacket on because today is November the 1st, and it's chilly as fuck in my house, and I have to purchase oil. I have oil heat, so I haven't purchased any. I need to look at my accounts and see what's going on to see, if I'm going to purchase this oil right now or if I'm gonna use a couple little heaters and take the heaters with me. Listen, the struggle is real when you have a business, when you're starting off with this business. So it's decisions that need to be made. How chilly are you willing to be? And how chilly are you willing to allow your daughter to be? I mean, I know Chloe, when I finally do start making a significant amount of money, my daughter is going to be like, thank you, Lord, because you had us out here crazy in these streets. I mean, listen, you have to start off somewhere. So I'm an interior designer, as people may know. If you didn't know, now you do. Um, so one of the benefits of using an interior designer is they get good trade discounts from different vendors where the public can't use. So finally got access to this vendor that sells furniture. The furniture is not really expensive. It's still stylish. And I wanted to have that option for clients who didn't have big budgets, but I still might need a couple of pieces. So with this vendor, it allows me to give my clients that. But with this vendor, I'm in charge of everything. So once I order the furniture, it comes to me on pallets, and then I have to be responsible for delivering it. So I had my first delivery yesterday. It was a learning experience, and it was a lot. I don't own my own box truck, so I had to rent one from U-Haul. And the one that I rented, so I go to this U-Haul in the hood because they always have like trucks available. And this one particular truck that I had, I should have knew not to take the truck because it had graffiti on it. But I was just ready to get on with the day. I didn't care. Like, it has U-Haul. Clearly, it's not my truck. What am I to do? That was my thinking. So I'm in the truck, I'm driving, and they have the big mirrors, the two mirrors on the side. And I'm like, why? I know how I started out with the mirror, but now the mirror has like twisted how the mirror is supposed to be towards the side of the vehicle so you can see. It had twisted out, so when I looked at it, I was just looking at road 2 blocks over. So I'm like, well, why is this like this? Come to find out, once I started really paying attention, whenever I hit a bump, the mirror would go out, would move. So that prolonged everything. On top of, I'm in it. I'm in it. I help my movers. They do most of the moving, but I'm opening the doors. I'm putting rugs on my shoulder and everything. So I hadn't eaten, and by the time I dropped the movers off, I was dead tired. I had a headache and I was starving. So I dropped them off. Where I dropped them off at, they didn't live, well, one guy didn't live too far from my sister. So I go over my sister's house. Now, my sister is 6 months pregnant, She's my little sister. She's 8.5 years younger than me. And you know, she is who she is, as we all are. So my sister is super smart. Um, really has it all together. I mean, if on paper, I mean, she gets a check beside just about everything. I mean, she's not super tall. She doesn't have a teeny tiny waist, but she's an attractive woman. She has a nice body. A nice face. I mean, she's a little broad in the shoulders, but I mean, she knows that. We always must call her linebacker, but she's a catch. She's truly a catch. But she's a little cray cray. You know how people who are really smart, it's like little things they like might miss in the common sense department, or they overthink. So she has the common sense down, but the overthinking is like to a default. So I was talking to her for the first time. We got into an in-depth conversation about the baby and all of this and all of that. Now, my sister has told me herself that she has an history of anxiety. So I'm like, okay, she says she gets anxious and she thinks da 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 da. I know this about her, but it seems like in the past maybe 6 months, I've seen a lot of people talk about anxiety. So I'm like, I'll ask a question. Not, it's funny when people say if you don't know, don't assume, ask a question. But as soon as you ask people questions, they get, you're trying to come at you. I'm not. I'm asking a question because I want to know, for one, and number two, I want to make sure I ain't got no damn anxiety, because I'm just trying to figure out, what it is. How do you know you have it? Are you self-diagnosed? Did you go to a professional and they tell you that you have anxiety? So, one of like a big time influencer on Instagram. So my YouTube video just stopped. Hey guys, this is Lauren, but you can call me. Alrighty, let's just excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. So okay, I'm sitting in my room. You hear my YouTube going? So I guess probably I don't have enough storage on my phone. Okay, well, that's it. So she was saying in one of her videos how she has anxiety. So I was asking her, like, really? I was like, how do you know? And she was saying, how she get when she gets anxiety. So I'm like, okay. I was asking because I wanted to know, like, do I have anxiety and not know? And a couple of days ago, a young lady who I follow on Instagram, she was saying in her story, she put up a meme and it had something to do with anxiety. So me and this young lady, we go back and forth, via social media a lot. She seems like a super, super sweet girl. And I was like, really? So she was just giving me like some symptoms or how she gets, when she's having anxiety. And she overthinks and blah 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 blah. So then fast forward to last night when I was talking to my sister. So she was talking about the registry and all of this and all of that, and how they were, her and her boyfriend. Now, her boyfriend has a daughter, but he wasn't afforded the luxury of being around during the pregnancy because the young lady he had his daughter with, I guess she hid the pregnancy or something. So he wasn't there, from the beginning. So he's super excited about being in a relationship with someone, seeing her belly grow and all the baby shower. He's like all in because he was robbed of that with his first daughter. So these two are, I said, you two are two peas in a pod. I swear to God, you two are made for one another. So they're on there, they're telling me how, Lydia has books around. She's on Facebook, on different groups and different chats, talking about breastfeeding, this, that, and the third. But this is my sister, the overthinker. So I said to Lydia, I said, listen, you have to sometimes too much knowledge can be hurtful. So I mean, you want to know about the milestones that your baby is hitting during your pregnancy, but just take it easy. So because I know my sister. Now, my sister I know tends to think I'm a bit much because I am, but I just know her and I just know, how she is. I don't think she really knows how she is, but Lydia is all about comfortability. she doesn't want to be inconvenienced about things. This is what I've gathered from her, from knowing her, and I'm 8.5 years older than her. She wants to have everything, all her ducks lined up, and everything to be everything, so she doesn't have to do anything extra. Okay, fine, cool. I don't live that way, but we all live differently. So fine, that's cool. So then she goes into telling me, her and her boyfriend, I'm sitting there looking at them, how they researched or looked up, whatever, I'm paraphrasing, how many the average of how many Pampers a baby uses during a day. And during from that calculation, they were able to figure out how many boxes of newborn Pampers, and then the next stage of Pampers, and the next stage of Pampers to put on the registry. So I'm looking at them like, who does that? Like, who sits and looks the average? So I said to my sister, I said, now, when the baby doesn't use 8 Pampers, don't take the baby to the damn hospital, because it didn't meet this average that you guys calculated to buy these Pampers. Lord have mercy. And then, um, Eric was saying how they spent like 5 hours on this registry. So then I'm like, so how the store is different than the online. They did everything online because they had their book on what the baby's going to need and blah, 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 blah. So they spent 5 hours on one registry. So I said to my sister, well, if it's online, if you did the registry online, some of the stuff on there might not be in the store. So she was like, oh, yeah. So as it relates to baby showers, any non-black person listening, this is how it goes with baby showers for black people. Black people wait to the last minute to go buy a gift from a baby shower. Any baby shower that I went to, I was not printing out or going to get the registry 3 weeks prior to the baby shower to look to see what they had. So if I needed to purchase something online, I would be able to do it. No, you're getting that gift the night before or a couple of hours before the baby shower. I'm going to go run to the store, maybe look at the registry, maybe not. And then I'm going to go and get the baby what the baby needs. Especially if I know the sex, it's probably going to be some little blankets, little onesies, little sleepers, all that cute, soft, fluffy stuff. So when her boyfriend was talking, was like, yeah, they better get this stuff off the registry. I said, listen. Nobody people print out the registry, the biggest stuff that's on the registry. They have a budget in mind. The biggest thing, the one thing that's so they don't have to go down that itemized list and get 15 of the 249 things. They're going to get the biggest thing, and that be that. And if it's too much on the registry because it drives people out, they're just going to buy what they want to buy. Or if they don't have any cash, they might have Bloomingdale's credit or Macy's credit. They're going to get whatever way they can get it. So don't be hell bent on this goddamn fucking registry, because people don't use the registry like that. Black people don't. I only can speak for black people because I'm black. Maybe other races do it and they're well organized and their family and friends are like them, but nah. We're waiting to the last minute. That's what we do. So I said, all the little needs and every little thing that you want, that's on y'all to get. Nobody's getting that shit like that. So y'all might as well get that out of your head. And I called them, I FaceTimed them this morning. And I said, listen, don't boggle down your day at a registry for 5 hours. Swipe a couple things on that registry and keep it moving. And you're just going to have to get up and go get the rest of the shit. Like, you're going to have to buy. I mean, she has Pampers on the registry. Like, you can get the Pampers yourself. Like, why would you put Pampers on the registry? I don't know. No judgment. But you want the... but that's her. So when I'm listening to her, I started thinking about the young lady whose story that, I saw on Facebook and about anxiety. And I'm like, this is why I see why you have anxiety. Because who even thinks to see how many average, I mean, maybe people do. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a mother who DHS needed to be called on, because that was the furthest thing on my mind. Like putting Pampers on the registry. Like, I'm always going to have to get Pampers until the baby is maybe damn near 2 when it's potty trained or pull up or whatever. I'm going to be back and forth at Target. So I'm not going to put that on the registry. Like, I'm going to put the cute stuff and the stuff, the little all that stuff on the registry. But I don't know. Like I said, I see where I am in my life at my age, and I see where she is, I guess, in her life at her age. And I mean, I guess there's a difference. I don't know, but who thinks about that? So then, like I said, I'm an interior decorator. I'm doing a room. So my mom is going to purchase the crib. So the crib that I saw is a convertible crib. Okay, cool, I get it. But I found a beautiful crib. It was on sale for like four something. And I sent it to her and she said, it's nice, but she wants the crib to be to turn into a toddler bed. All right, cool. But you can get like toddler beds at IKEA for $79. And I didn't get my daughter a toddler bed until she was like maybe 2. And I don't know if she was just little, but she was in her crib for a while. Then I got her a toddler. I remember when I got her a toddler bed, like the way she jumped on it, it was like she was a full function, like all her motor skills were like intact because the way she was just like on the bed. And then 2 years ago, I got her a full size bed. So, I mean, they can stay in the beds pretty long or the cribs. I don't know, but the crib that I picked up is beautiful. So when I'm at the house, she says, "Did you see my email about the crib?" I was going to try to like ignore the email and not talk about the email, but she brought it up. So I said, "Yeah, I saw the email." And she was like, "Yeah, I want to have a toddler bed. I want it to convert into a toddler bed." And I'm like, "Well, why? That crib is so beautiful. It's not a toddler bed, but you could just like buy a toddler bed um when she's ready to get a bed. Like that shouldn't make or break whether you get this beautiful crib." So she's just like, "I want a toddler bed. It's more expensive." She's not buying the crib. My mom is going to buy the crib. And if I have to offset the cost because my mom had like $200 extra that she's going to pay, then I'll do it because I want her to have this crib because the budget is limited on the baby room anyway. So I'm like, I just need her to get this crib. So she was like going back and forth with me about the crib. So one of her reasons for not wanting the crib is thinking about when she has to get rid of the crib, who she's going to give it to. So I'm looking at her like, what the who thinks about that? Who thinks about now? I understand planning ahead, but you're not going to get a crib because you're not sure who you're going to give the crib to when it's when she can't fit in the crib. Like, so you're not worrying about who you're going to give the crib to, even when it's a toddler bed. Like, I don't get it. It's overthinking. And who does that? Can somebody please? Am I tripping, or do people think about who I'm going to give the crib to? And that's going to prevent you from getting a lovely crib because you're thinking about who you're going to give the crib to. And I said, "Well, Lydia, how do you know you won't have another baby by then?" So she just has the Liddy look on her face. I'm like, you don't even know. Like, you're not saying I just want one child. What if you would get pregnant and have another baby by then? What, like, so either way, another crib or bedding or whatever is going to have to come into play. So please, and again, I thought about anxiety. People thinking about things that really I just think is like, it's no reason to think about it. Some things you can think about when you cross that bridge when you get to it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And I'm thinking about the young lady again, her saying she knows she's an overthinker and thinking about shit that really doesn't need to be thought about because you can talk your way out of something that could be so decent. Now, a crib is pretty trivial, but I'm sure it's things I know for a fact is beautiful things my sister has thought her way out of because of shit like that. Like, we have to chill. So to my sister Liddy and Yanni vibe, okay, I get it, but let's woosah. Let's not think about those things. Since I've been older, I have really, and I've been experiencing more things in life. I've learned to be patient with people and not take away the way somebody feels because how somebody feels is how they feel. And I've really, really, in the past 9, 10 years, have really started to respect how magnificent and delicate the mind is. And, it started with a young lady. She's my assistant now. I knew her when she was 17 years old. And at 18, she literally she lost her mind, and I saw it in front of me. And when I saw that, I felt so bad for her, like when it happened. But throughout the years, she's managed it pretty well. she's managed it well. But I remember I was pregnant with my daughter. I was like 7 months pregnant, and she was saying somebody was after her. I met her at a job, but by this time she wasn't working at the bank anymore. So she was like my little daughter. I mean, I'm 13 years older than her, but she was just like my little child or whatever. She used to call me Miss Lauren. Like, stop calling me Miss Lauren. We work together. Like, stop it. But we had that admiration. She loved me as a mother figure, and I loved her as like a daughter figure. So when she was going through this, I went to her apartment at the time. I got her because I really thought somebody was after her or trying to do something to her. Um, then it would dawn on me throughout the night that maybe somebody's not after her because we finally got to my house. I'm so out the way. I know nobody's out after me. I'm 7 months pregnant. Like, who's looking for me? I live alone. At the time, my daughter's father hadn't moved in with me yet. And she was like, they're behind us. They're behind us. So I'm thinking, well, maybe she had got a little high or something. Um, then we in the house and she's saying somebody's in the house, scaring the fuck out of me. Again, I'm 7 months pregnant. We go in the basement. I make her look. Nobody's there. And, um, you know, I'm thinking to myself, something is fucking wrong. Something is going on. I just saw her in front of my eyes coming apart at the seams. So I make her get in the bed with me. We're laying down. 7 months pregnant. I look up and she's looking right at me. And at that point, I said, I don't know what the fuck she might do because she might think I'm the person at her. I called her mother, like, listen, you got to come get your daughter because something is wrong. Come to find out, she was diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenia. So but she was a person at young. She was thinking about everything. I used to be telling, like, slow down, you're young as fuck. Like, you don't have to worry about those things. You don't have to worry about those things. But she had a go-getter attitude. She wanted this. She knew exactly what she wanted. She didn't know how exactly she was going to obtain it, but she knew she was going to get it. And I think it literally drove her crazy. And I thought about that, like, yo, I really saw somebody lose their mind. And although I hate it was her, I'm so appreciative of the lesson in it because you never know what people are going through mentally, man. You never know. When I was pregnant after I had my daughter, I always thought, oh, postpartum depression, that's bullshit. That's that white woman shit until I fucking had the postpartum depression. I eventually got out of it, I guess, as the hormones or whatever came because I had a very high risk pregnancy. And I'm telling you, I was fucking depressed. I went from living a life of Raleigh, living by myself. I had my own 3-bedroom house to now I got a man in the house, I got a baby in the house, and I got a dog in the house. And I have all these hormones. So I know it did something to me psychologically because I gained 100 pounds from the shit. And I was just going through it. I was going through it, and when I was trying to explain it to my daughter's father, I mean, we black people, for whatever reason, we don't respect anything that has to do with mental health or whatever. It's just like, oh, you can get out of it, but no, sometimes you might need a little help. So yeah, and it's just, I feel like the mind, like I said, is so magnificent because if you train it, if you master it, I feel like there's almost nothing you can do. Like, I really think for people who like if you can think it to a certain way, I think you could make yourself fly just from a mental standpoint. I mean, I know that's crazy, but I mean, has anybody ever saw The Burning Monk? So this one monk protesting for Vietnam, he it wasn't in Vietnam. I forget, I think it was in China or Korea. I can't remember which thing, but you can easily Google it. And as part of the protest, he made himself a martyr. That's what they do. Instead of being violent to others, they'll do it to themselves. And he set himself on fire. Now, in a meditation, how Buddhist, not Buddhist, but in yoga, how you sit when you meditate. So he sat there with his legs crossed. One of the other Buddhist monks poured the gasoline on him, and he took the match and he set himself on fire. and he didn't make a sound. He didn't break the pose, and he burnt there, didn't scream out any type of pain. And then when they thought he finally died, they, poured water on him, and they cremated, went to, give him a real cremation, and that was it. But do you understand that he set himself on fire? He sat there, didn't move, didn't run, and he didn't scream. So that's just a testament about how powerful the mind is once you master it, or if you can master it. Or, I mean, I think that's just a certain level of quote unquote crazy, that you could sit there and just burn to death literally and not scream and not move. And then you might look at a bum on the street. You'll see a bum, it'll be 100 degrees, 97 humidity, and they'll be walking in the street with a coat on, a winter coat on. But in their mind, they really think that they're cold. But physically, you can't be cold. But that just goes to show how maybe your mind can manipulate your physical. I don't know. But I'm feeling like that's how it could be. So, yeah, man. Um, I try to learn. I feel as though at this point in my life, I don't have to learn every lesson through experience. I can look at other people and learn lessons and think about what they go through deeply, and just, see how I can integrate it in my life or tweak it in my life, and all of that stuff. So I'm just thankful for my sister. I'm thankful for the young lady Yanni Vibe, and I'm thankful for Charlisha for just allowing me, well, not allowing me, but just for them to be around so I can just see what they're going through, pray for them that they get past it. And as far as all three of them, I don't think it's anything too deep. I think they all manage it. With my sister, she doesn't take any medications for it. She knows that when she has to, reel herself in. But yeah, man, I'm just I think about those guys in different situations, and I try not to overthink. But by nature, I'm not an overthinker. I really don't care about too much stuff. Like, anybody who knows me personally, like, I'll talk about something, but after that, I don't really give a fuck. Like, I got enough things going on in my life that I have to deal with, that anything that I don't have to deal with, that shit is rolling down my back and it's going wherever it's going, because ain't nobody got time to. It takes so much energy to think about stuff, and I don't feel like it. I like taking naps anyway, so if I can't sleep it away, I don't want no parts of it. Okay, I just don't. So yeah, you know, people, be patient with one another. Okay, you never know what people are going through, and whether you think it's right or whether you went through it or not, people are going through it. So you have to respect it. You have to be patient. It doesn't mean that you can't speak on it, though. It doesn't mean that, you can't mention it. Just do it in a place of, do it, you know, in a loving way, or make sure it's just coming from a good place. Because I joke about judging people, but judging is just having an opinion. But, we all are individuals, and, we go through our own shit. But I just think certain shit, if you can not go through it, like, why go through it? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can master certain things about yourself, master them, because there's so much other fucking shit we're suffocated by, and that, will just, bring us down. So, you know, as I said, be patient with people. Um, I did a podcast. I don't even know if I mentioned this, but I did do a podcast with a guest. So I'm working on getting that together. I did have video for this one, but it deleted after 7 minutes, and I'm coming up on 30 minutes. So, because I'm ghetto and I don't care, I'll post the first little clip on this shit on YouTube if it'll upload. And yeah, so that's that. So you guys, do me a favor, subscribe to the podcast. It's on Stitcher. It's on iTunes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I have an email, things that need to be said 1 at gmail.com. If there's a particular subject you want my input on, shoot me an email. And if I have an opinion about it, I'll talk about it. If I don't have an opinion about it, I'm not going to make up me having an opinion because that's fake as shit. Um, I'll just say I don't have an opinion on it. I don't look at TV. I don't look at the news. I mean, I did see my sister show me that Wendy Williams fainted. That shit scared the fuck out of me. Seeing her like, damn, one minute you're fine, and then the next minute you're doing the percolator and fainting on fucking TV. So shit is precious, man. We just gotta just take it easy, man, because I ain't trying to go out like that. Like, I don't want no stroke, no paralysis on the side of the face. Like, it's just too much. But yeah, send me an email and, blah, 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 blah. Everybody have a great day, and I will, holla at y'all the next time I got some shit that needs to be said. Bye.